Hello fellow flight simmers, this is the Flying Turk with another review video for you guys, and today we're taking a look at a very quirky plane. This is the Avro RJ by JustFlight. Well, I got the BAE 146 lineup as well, so we ended up getting this one as well to do a review for you guys. I'm a bit late, I know. There have been a lot of reviews posted as well, but I thought I'd give you my honest opinion about this plane. I've flown the BAE 146 in the sim, all variants. I tried the 100, 200 and 300, and if you're curious, by the way, with the RJ we get 70, I think it was the 70, 85 and 100, which are equivalent of the other ones. Like 70 is equivalent the same as the 100, 85 is the same as the 200, and 100 is the same as the 300. Regarding size, at least, cockpit wise, they're a little bit different. Cabin is slightly different as well, but they're practically the same plane. They feel almost exactly the same. I don't feel any difference. Like, there is nothing much going on with it either. It's a nice study level plane, if I might say so. I Personally, I think that the RJ is a little bit better than the BAE 146, but we will dive into that why. But before we do that, guys, let's talk about the history of the RJ. The Avro RJ family of aircraft was built by BAE Systems Regional Aircraft Centre at the historic Avro Airfield at Woodford in England. For the people that don't know Avro, that's well, literally an airfield, but the Avro is also famous for like the Lancasters in World War II. You know the Avro Lancaster that dropped the Dambuster bomb? Just an example, that's the most famous one, but those planes flew a lot over Europe, bombing Germany and German occupied territories. Anyways, 170 aircraft were delivered. The first production aircraft was delivered in 1993 and production ceased in 2002, which had like 9 years of production, more or less. Yeah, 9 years. Not that successful though. 170 aircraft is quite little. I don't know the status of BAE at the moment. I don't know if they're still operating, if they're still successful, but yeah, not a lot of these have been sold, but they're like short regional aircraft, right? So I understand that not a lot have been produced, but if you compare it to like a 737, which have like thousands sold, it's kind of insane to see that very little amount of these have been sold. But it kind of makes sense as well, eh? Four engines use a lot of fuel for the same route as two engine would. It's not flying any transatlantic routes as well, so four engines are a bit overkill. But regarding that these flying a single engine, it's very underpowered, so it's understandable they added 4. Gives a very unique look to this plane as well. Looks like a baby jumbo jet. Gotta say, guys, I like the looks. I like the idea of this plane, but it looks and behaves like a jet ATR, if I might say so. Like, I don't know what it is with this plane. I'm not a big fan. The BAE 146 as well. I'm not a big fan of that one either. This is the new cockpit, as you can see. Let's take a look. Overhead panel is exactly the same as the BAE 146. Nothing has changed over here. I suppose the textures look a little bit nicer on this one. I don't know why. Might be because of the lighting as well. The front panel, or the main panel, depending on how you call it, this has some improvements. Like, we got now digital displays over here. We got these things that have been digitalized. We don't have that weird performance calculator tool over here anymore, which I found very strange in the BAE 146. We got nice modern MCDUs. These are Collins, as you can see, and this should be Collins or Honeywell. I don't know. I saw it somewhere, I heard it somewhere, but it doesn't state it in the plane. Anyways, this cockpit is a little bit nicer compared to the BAE 146. I gotta give them kudos for that. It's still a difficult airplane to fly. Don't expect that when you buy it you will be able to just take off and go for it. Like, you have to know how to fly this plane because it's very quirky. It has its own way of taking off, own way of step climbing. Like, you gotta understand the systems and the basics. So I never recommend it, but read the manual for this plane or watch a good YouTube video explaining how to deal with this plane because it's very quirky. And by the way, with this nice EFB over here, this is the updated EFB. Looks very nice. You get OFP for your SimBrief flight plans. I have no SimBrief flight plan active at the moment. We have a map. Let's say the JustFlight map is extremely good. I love this one. I only wish they had like a night mode so that we could see a nighttime map because this thing is extremely bright at night times. We can get Navigraph charts over here if you're signed in. Yeah, you can get airport charts or en route charts. I'm connected, so I could view them. Here we have the same menu as on the BAE 146 or F28. Same things. Cold and dark, ready for takeoff. You can open up the doors. You can get ground power. Let's open up the doors and the stairs. Show you how this looks. Doors have opened, stairs are extending. And you will see in my DC6 video releasing tomorrow that this stairs is looking incredibly small compared to that one. It's like 3 times the size, or at least 2.5 times the size. But yeah, with all the doors open, it looks nice. And this is, by the way, the speed brake. This will retract and become flush with the rudder as soon as we have hydraulic power. We also have speed brakes or spoilers on top of the wings. We've got the rudder assembly over here, stabilizers over here. But I say overall, it's a nice looking plane. It's not looking bad at all. But let's go back here. I don't want to mess around with setting up the plane, guys. Cold and dark procedures for this plane is insane. Let's go over here, show you the checklist. Flight deck safety, we only got 106 items. Before start 15, 29 for engine start. After start we have 13. Before takeoff we have 16. After takeoff we have 6. Climb we have 5 and so on. And ground tests are 106 again. This is an extremely realistic plane. Everything is almost modeled in that you would use or functioning, to say it like that. We have hundreds of clickable buttons, which is insane. Like even these ground tests, you can all press all of them in, which is insane. All the fire handles do work. Say, I've been impressed by a lot of planes in the sim, but this one is very high up. But how much I've been impressed by the realism and by the things they've added. You have panel states. I went immediately for ready to take off. You can see the doors closing up and the engines will start spooling up as well. Interesting, that door. Now it's closing, okay. Yeah, because cold and dark for this plane, it takes a long time, gotta say. We will do a video on that at one point, maybe in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 if they bring this over. I hope they do. I thought they would though, but I'm not sure if they will. But let's see about that. You can also get like announcements. You cannot hear it too well, but it's on the background. We can arm and disarm doors. Let that cabin crew speak up. Yeah, this is the cockpit starting up. We will go back quickly to show you this. And by the way, this is the co-pilot seat. You can move the armrest, like usual stuff, just like in the BAE 146, very similar. This is a very tight jump seat. It should move over here, I guess. Because nobody can sit behind this guy, like it's practically impossible. He would have to sit here with the legs over here, otherwise he's not gonna be able to sit. What's this? Clickable spots? Emergency lever, okay. Interesting. This is the door. You can open up the peephole to check into the cabin. If you want to peep on some passengers, well, be my guest. Here you can do it. You can you can't open up the door. Let me say that, and that's because it's locked. It's up. It's locked. You want to unlock it, you push it down, and then you can press it, and it opens up. There you go. And interesting that they've chose to add this over here. Looks a bit weird if you ask me, but let's see why. Let's close it back up. Look, there we go. There's like this mesh, so if the cabin crew comes over here, the pilots inside will be able to hear them and talk with them through this door. Weird function, but it is there. Before we look into the cabin, there are a lot of things modeled and pressable in here as well. You can press all these things, don't know what they do, but freezer, like these are circuit breakers for some certain features over here. Work light, you cannot open these up, which I'm not surprised by. It would be weird if we could open these up. We can turn the coffee machine on, we can brew coffee, and we can press hot water. I don't know if it will pour out coffee, I don't think it will, but interesting that JustFlight decided to model that in. Interesting. So we can pretend to be a cabin crew as well. This is the door. You can press it and open it. There we go. We open the door. We can take a look at the engines over here. Interesting view. By just pressing this part over here again, we can close the door and it will lock itself automatically. Same for the other doors as well. Also another nice feature they've added. Ooh, emergency lights. We can turn on emergency lights. You can see them light up as well. Let's show you again. You see? They went off. Press them again. They go on. There is this cover which is practically invisible. Like you can see it from this angle, but not if you look straight forward at it. We have this thing over here for like the music that plays when passengers are boarding. You can turn up the volume, turn down the volume. The phone, you know, like if you want to do PA, IC, name it. You can do like announcements from this thing. If you want to act like your cabin crew, well, this is probably the plane to be in. So this is the cabin. Looks a bit nicer than the BAE 146. Looks a little bit updated, you know, but practically the same. This is a 3x3 configuration, as you can see. Let's show you the wing views, the engine views. Engines look insane though, I gotta say. Like having them so close to the window. Let's go over here. Here you can see them better. The sheer sight is beautiful, and the overhead wing also has a very different effect on this plane. Not something we are used to. The seating look also very nice. Like they look used and leathery, you know, like proper high quality, if I may say. There are not a lot of planes in the simulator that have these kind of nice cabins. Like PMDG has very nice cabins as well, but for example, the DC-6 is not the best. Looks like a FS6 port. But the 737s have nice cockpits. 737s have nice cockpits, but they have some texture issues here and there as well. I'm not blaming them. Still a good looking plane and working plane, but the windows, for example, look a bit weird on the 737. They're like jagged corners. We can use this phone as well if you were curious about that. Put it back. Not much we can press over here in the back. We cannot open the tray tables or not open the overhead bins, just like in the iFly 737 MAX. So iFly, for example, has very good cabin as well. PMDG 777, that one has an extremely well cabin. Even MD-11 has a very good cabin by TFDI. Like there are a few that have very good cabins, but not all of them, right? Ah yeah, what I was gonna show you guys is the windows. Let's open the door up again, and let's show you how good these windows are on the BAE 14 or JustFlight RJ. Just take a quick look at it. Like almost no jagged corners, you know. Okay, there are some texture issues on the bottom and on the top a little bit, but I'm not worried about that. You know, overall, when you come here and you want to do like an exterior view or an external camera, it looks good. No crazy jagged corners. In this looks good. PMDG has this like pop and then pop. It goes down and then it goes to here. You know, it looks a bit weird in the 737. Luckily, the iFly doesn't have that, but yeah, it's something to keep an eye on. You know, you will see it when you fly a lot. Okay, our plane has started up. We still don't have reverse thrusters in the RJ, which is probably one of the reasons that it's not that successful. And by the way, this is flaps 1. Let's show you full flaps. Oh, by the way, we are rolling forwards, but it will make it difficult to go back. Yeah, these are spoilers, as you can see. I love the spoiler action on the JustFlight BAE 146 or RJ. Practically the same. These open up just like the Fokker. These move up as well. Interesting spoiler design. We don't have too many flap settings. We have like up 1, 2, 3, 4, similar to Airbus. Flaps 1 for takeoff should be fine. This plane can practically turn on the spot. Like look, there we go. We don't need pushback. It's very good for like regional flights, you know. You have some airports that are very tight or very small. This is a very good plane. Yeah, we're gonna mess it up a little bit. We're gonna fly or taxi a little bit wrongly. Let's try not to hit that pole. but it looks like we're gonna hit it anyways. Yep, we hit another wing, guys. We hit another wing. That happens when you're not pushing back. But I want to show you how this plane feels on takeoff as well. We'll do a quick pattern and try to land it. I'm gonna say I've not had much success with landing this plane. It's not the easiest one. The BA-146 I've not also taken out on many flights as well. It's a nice plane, but it's not really my cup of tea, guys. If you want a more traditional steam gauge look, get the BAE 146. If you want a bit more modern and a bit easier to control plane, get the RJ, or get the package where you get both of them for a very good price. That's also an interesting one. Do I recommend it? Gotta say, honestly, even though I'm not a big fan of these planes, I can highly recommend it to you guys just because of the realism, just because of the sounds and the feel. With all the things that have been implemented into this plane, it's a good addition to the sim. It's very realistic. It adds a lot of immersion. It's fun to fly as well. Can't deny it. Like if you know how to deal with it, you will have a lot of fun with this plane. But yeah, it's a bit weird, man. I don't know. The gear action is very beautiful though. And for the people that are curious where we are, I have not told you yet, but we are at Hamburg Airport. We have taken off with the Lufthansa Regional. Say one of my favorite liveries for the Avro RJ. Okay, let's do the short pattern. We will go to the left over here. Let's give her some more throttle again. We will come back and land on the runway over to the left, as you can see. Let's not give her too much power, because we don't want to gain too much altitude. Let's see if I've added... No, I didn't add the camera views, my bad. I thought I added those camera views, but I didn't. So we don't have any wing views for you guys, bear with me. But overall, cockpit looks nice, sounds are nice, a lot of immersion in this plane. It's a proper study level as well, so if you're into that one, you will like this plane. I love study level planes, but this is just not a plane that I've come around to fly a lot. It was all the range or the autopilot commands that just didn't make sense to me. This one I might fly a little bit more because of the modern style autopilot. Might be a bit easy for me to understand as well compared to the BAE 146, because this looks like a Boeing 737, gotta say. Very similar. Let's drop gear, let's drop spoilers. I tend to smash this plane into the ground every time I'm landing. This plane is notorious for hard landings. It has very sturdy landing gear, at least it can handle it, but yeah, you should be careful with it. You will probably see a bad landing from me as well. I'm very high up, we will have to push her down a lot. Going over 10 degrees. And by the way, when you're in flight, only the rear speed brakes open up. When you're on the ground, the rest pops up. We will stay in cockpit mode just for the landing. Afterwards, we'll go outside to show you how that looks. But generally, guys, like I said, I recommend this plane if you're into something quirky and something different than the usual Boeing or Airbus, or McDonnell Douglas. It's an interesting plane. It adds a lot to the sim. Personally, I recommend this one if you are used to the 737s and want a more easier RJ experience. But if you want something totally different than any other plane in the sim, get the BAE 146, because that one with the old style gauges and old style systems, really is something different. It really it challenges you and gets you stressed and all. Will we? Oh, minus 143. That was a good one. And you can see those spoilers have popped up as well. Not a butter landing, but it was a good one. Can't complain. There we are. All quite off center, but anyways. Like I said, guys, I'm not used to flying this plane. I did a quick pattern for you guys, or a quick takeoff and landing, so you have an idea on how it behaves and how it how it might feel, like you cannot feel it through YouTube on your screen, but you can have a basic idea, I suppose. But yeah, now it's up to you guys. Do you want the BAE 146 or the RJ? I let that decision up to you. And like I said, I recommend this one over the BAE 146 just because it's easier flying. But opinions might differ. Other people might recommend the BAE 146. That one has a little bit better performance as well compared to this one. This one I have a little bit more lag with. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the 1.0 version. Who knows? I haven't updated it yet. I don't know if there's an update available. But anyways, check it out, guys. If you're interested, let me know in the comment sections down below. If you will skip on it, let me also know. I'm curious about your guys' opinions as well. And let me know also if you're excited for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, which is literally around the corner. Guys, that's it for this short review. It was a quick one. Just wanted to show you how this plane looks and feels and sounds and what I think about it. It's a very good one, but after all, the decision is left up to you guys. Guys, take care. Have safe flights, safe landings, and I will see you in the next review or live stream. Take care.